Hi everyone, so today is Monday and I decided to put on a really cozy sweater because this morning I just spent the day really starting off work and doing progress notes. So the work that I do as a therapist, I did that this morning. I started like at 7 a.m. so really early before the sun was up just so I could go ahead and get that done and out of the way. And today's one of those days, and I'm sure you all can relate, where you just need to unplug, unplug from everyone, unplug from everything, and just take some time to just like turtle and shut in and listen to yourself and just spend some time with yourself, like we talked about in my last video. And so I actually really want to experiment with cooking a little bit. I don't know if I want to make a soup or some type of loaded potato situation, but this is kind of my inspiration. I love the flavor profile, but I really want to experiment a little bit with the meal that I want to make for the week and meal prep. And usually I do meal prep on the weekends, but sometimes I have a meal that I still haven't prepped. So I thought today would be a great day because I got a lot of my work done. So I just really want to spend the rest of the day relaxing and just spending time with myself and taking things slow and doing that kind of self-care today. So let's try something new together. So I'm here to motivate you, and we're going to be talking about motivation today and how to create that, because sometimes we can sit around waiting for motivation. Been there myself, but I want to teach you all how to create motivation, how to get that ball rolling. And one of the first important things is our own self-talk. So our inner dialogue, how we're talking to ourselves in simplest terms. So in our mind or if out loud, if we're saying or thinking things like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, I'm really not in the mood. The more we think that, the more our thoughts become our feelings, and our feelings impact our actions. And it's just this never ending cycle. So my current affirmation for the day is, it's okay to experiment and to let that be fun. It's okay to make mistakes. Allow yourself to have fun and to be creative and see what happens with that. I'm going to go ahead and share some other coping statements here on screen and what coping statements are and how important it is to really modify the way that we're talking to ourselves and about ourselves. That impacts our feelings about ourselves, and that then impacts our actions and our behavior. So we're getting our mindset right first, right? Most important thing. And now we're gonna go ahead and get to cooking. I need to go get my ingredients. Okay everyone, so this is my inspiration. I want to do like a jalapeno popper chicken and potato soup type situation, and this looks so good. I have the ingredients. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna be using, but I'm thinking of going the slow cooker route. So I'm thinking this might be more for dinner, and I need to just have lunch because this might take a while to actually make. In the background, I'm gonna go ahead and put on a movie. Of course, y'all know how it is around here. It's the only way to get adulting done and to enjoy it, because if we have to adult for the rest of our lives, might as well make it enjoyable. Why are we gonna suffer through it? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and watch The Wedding Planner in the background. I don't think I've ever seen that movie fully. Like, I've seen it in parts, spring/summer, and I feel like that movie gives those vibes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on, and you and me, we are gonna get to cooking. I was talking to one of my therapy clients recently about how there's so much guilt and shame that comes with specifically being a Latina, but as a woman too, like feeling like we have to have our lives together by a certain age, let alone our 30s. It feels like we should have our shit together by then, and we should know how to cook, how to clean properly, how to do hygiene, like all the things, all the life skills that we should know. And some of us didn't grow up being taught a lot of the life skills. Like, I know for me, I was taught some, but a lot of life skills really came from watching other YouTubers. Like, I learned how to adult, thankfully, through the access of other YouTubers. And we don't have to feel shame for that, regardless of our age. If we haven't learned how to do something yet, it is never too late to learn how to do something. So you and me, we're gonna tackle cooking today, okay? The life skills. And I know what you're thinking. Those of you who are scared of cooking, listen, okay? You can do this. You can learn how to do this. We have to start with small, easier meals, you know what I mean? And like work our way up. So would I be attempting to make this maybe like 5 years ago, no. Too many steps. But at this point, it's like, okay, I've been practicing, I can do this. So I hope this motivates you a little bit. Any skill, any habit, it just takes baby steps. And before you know it, we're there. So enough stalling on my part. Let's get to cooking. Okay, so I had to stop this movie for a second in this scene right now when we're watching the main character, Maria, just like going through her day-to-day after coming back from work as a wedding planner. And can I just say, do not ever let anyone make you believe that as a woman, you are not enough and that you need a partner to be fulfilled. As soon as I was watching, I was like, I know where this is going. I know where this is going, because it cuts later on to a scene of like her father trying to find her, you know, a partner and trying to marry her off. And it's crazy because so much of when we're younger and when we're early developing as children, what we hear and what we're taught and how we're conditioned really shapes the way that we view ourselves and whether or not we're worthy. And it just pisses me off so much. It just makes me so upset, because do not let anyone for a second tell you that what Maria is living right now is not pure luxury and the dream. Like, my girl has her own space. She is doing the things that she wants to be doing, but it is so accurate that we often feel like, oh, I'm not married, or I don't have a relationship, therefore I need to hurry, I need to rush, I need to have that. But that is not something that any woman needs to have. Like, even for me in my relationship, I love my husband. He's my bestie. I love him so much, but I don't need him. I want him in my life, you know, because he's just a great person and I love him, but I don't need him to be okay, or to love my life, or to love myself. And yes, we need relationships and we need community, but not having it look a certain way, like being in a marriage or in a relationship, doesn't mean that we're not fulfilled or that we can't have enough. It's just, again, the messaging that we're constantly being bombarded with, and then we're turning it into thoughts, which then impacts our feelings, which then impacts our behavior, right? Feeling unworthy, feeling like we're not enough, feeling depressed because we don't have the thing that looks like the perfect ideal socially. If you take one thing away from this video, please know that that is bullshit and that you are enough. Whether it is you're living by yourself or you're living with a partner, whether it is that you find yourself in a relationship or not, you are enough just as you are, and you can lead a beautiful, fulfilled, wonderful life just as you are. So I just thought I would stop the movie for a second and talk about that, because it's such an important topic. Do you guys feel similarly in the sense of you were given a lot of messaging when it came to this, that you needed to be in a relationship or have that in order to be fulfilled? And I can tell you where that came from me. That came from growing up in a very religious and Christian household, which I no longer practice that, specifically because of the hurtful and damaging messaging that it caused within my childhood, and how it really warped my view of what is healthy and what is not healthy, and what is needed and what is not. And honestly, this is my favorite work to do as a therapist, really getting to empower women to know that they are enough. And it's not easy, you guys. It's not easy, because a lot of us are just conditioned since we're children, since we're really young. Like, I remember being in church as like a little child, and them having us do exercises like, who do you want your future male partner to be? Which, first alone, again, bullshit, because bold of you for assuming that that's someone's sexuality and that's how it should be. And what that creates in really young children is you're already creating the mindset that that is what they need to be doing and pursuing, and that that matters. And what little children need as their brains are developing is for their parents and caregivers to talk to them about their feelings, how to connect with themselves, the physical and emotional support that they need. Long rant, but very important talk. I love being able to talk to you all about this. Has anyone ever talked to you about this, or these thoughts that you've also had or have been thinking about? I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section.
He moves like a magnet, wearing holes in the carpet. counting steps to the back porch. Same song from the screen door. He was a score on a mountain, waiting for a sign of rain. Hard horse with his head down, devoted to a way of being, but he broke wide open like a bird in spring, with a divine potion made of love and pain. He was really living, yeah man, all the way, with a deep emotion made of love and pain.
Okay everyone, so I'm currently on my couch and I grabbed a nice cozy blanket to just settle in here. I'm going to color for a little bit. The potatoes are still cooking, so the cooking will continue, but right now I'm taking a little break, and today is such a cozy day in. Part of me was like, should I go out and do stuff? Should I get out for a little bit? But I'm not feeling it. I'm feeling a really nice cozy day in because the weather is also nice and gloomy, and I found myself not vlogging because I was just enjoying sitting on the couch for a bit, unplugging and watching this, and it's been so much fun. So I thought I would bring out my coloring books because I know one of you asked me in a past video how I organize everything, and y'all, I do not have a great organization system by any means. I just got like this bag to keep my markers in, and I still have a lot of my like crayons and color pencils in these packages, but I feel like that would be such a fun future video for us to go ahead and get some organization for that and organize it together. So thank you to the person who commented that, because I am still looking too how to organize everything so we can figure that out together. It's just a really low effort, fun activity that you can do, and it just helps you honestly care for your inner child. I really loved coloring and drawing when I was little, so being able to do this and to find coloring books that I like now as an adult is just really, really fun. Okay everyone, so it's been about 2 hours since the potatoes have been in the rice cooker, so I'm gonna go ahead and mash them up now. Honestly, you don't have to do anything big or huge or take a really expensive or huge travel trip to have a great self-care day and take care of yourself. We can use the things around us and the things that are most accessible to us to have a really great day, a really great moment. And I hope this video encourages you to do that, to look around you and see what you have access to and what you can use to have fun, to take a little bit of a break from work, from life, from responsibilities.
You look so perfect. I'll hit the ground if you keep on looking at me like that. And you don't know what you do to me. And I would probably go and end it all if you found out. No words can explain what I'm feeling. Being with you feels as easy as breathing. And right when I do, you just go on and steal it. Am I out of my mind? You got me so high. Being with you feels like blue skies. No, I've seen
Okay everyone, so it is time to try out the soup together, and I'm so excited. I cannot believe that I cooked this. Like, I can, but I also just find it so exciting. I feel like the thing that's always been hard about cooking for me is like the cleanup that comes after, which makes sense. I keep referring to childhood because childhood is so important, but the chore back in my home was cooking. Growing up, that was mine, and my sister's was cleaning. So we always like shared that together, where I would cook and she would clean, and that was just the thing for years. Like, we each did the tasks for each other that we hated doing. As roommates, that was our way of supporting each other. And so adulting for me has been learning to become familiar and try to befriend as much as possible the cleanup process that comes with cooking. And it's not fun. Like, let's be real, at least for me, it's not. And so I have to do things to at least make it doable. You know what I mean? So what I'm telling myself after cooking this, all the mess that I see is the labor of my cooking love, and I will play something in the background and try to clean and load the dishwasher as best as I can. And some days, if it's a really busy day, not happening. It's gonna have to wait till the next day. Today happens to be Monday, and I'm here at home and I'm feeling good. I want to go ahead and clean up after. The smell of this is so delicious. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do a taste test with you all. I'm gonna go ahead and do that together. It looks steaming hot. Like, if y'all can see, there's steam coming out of there, so I'm not trying to burn my tongue. So I can't even begin to tell you all how freaking delicious that is. I'm having a shitty day, or I'm just having a not so great time, this is what I want to cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. I thought I would just go ahead and share with you all some books, some book recommendations, specifically mental health related ones. And all the books that I'm going to be sharing with you right now are books that I've recommended to my own therapy clients. And I work predominantly with Latina women and adolescents 16 plus. And so these are a lot of the books that I've read to recommend to the adult women or transitioning from adolescent to adulthood women that I work with. So all of these have Latina representation. They're written by Latina therapists. And I also have some books that are written in Spanish. So I'm really excited to share all of these with you all. So the first book that I want to share with you all is The Latinx Guide to Grad School. And this right here is a book that I wish that I had had before entering undergrad and grad school. It would have helped to mentally prepare me for that journey, just mindset wise. And I don't know if some of you are thinking, how is this mental health related? But when you are not set up mindset wise for taking something on like this, that is the world of academia, it really can take a toll on you, especially if you are a POC. There's a lot of imposter syndrome that we go to, and this has so many helpful tips. The next book is The Pain We Carry, and this book specifically is great, especially if you're really struggling with the current events and what's happening on in the world, and just the stressful things that we continue to encounter from racism as POC, from seeing the genos that are taking place. It's just a lot for our minds and bodies to witness, to hold on to try to work through. This book made me cry so much. I can't even begin to tell you how at home and how safe I felt within the pages of this book, just reading the different tips that the author gave. Then we have It's Not Me, and this book specifically is really good if you've experienced trauma of any form, abuse of any form, and you're trying to understand why your mind and body are reacting the way that they are and the things that you're experiencing. And the title reads Understanding Complex Trauma, Attachment, and Disassociation. The next book that I wanted to share with you all is called Stop Overthinking Your Relationship. So if you are someone who really struggles with rumination, with overthinking within your partnership, within your marriage, your relationship, I love the author's writing style. It's very easy to understand and easy to follow. So it's kind of like being in a therapy session with a therapist and just having them be very down to earth and keeping it real with you and talking you through some helpful tips. And personally, when I recommend books related to mental health, I always look for books that are written by other therapists, and therapists specifically whose approach aligns with my approach, meaning I always want to find books that really acknowledge the environmental factors that can be impacting Latinas and POC, because if we don't recognize that and we're just reading books and taking advice from non-POC perspectives or from others who don't recognize the inequities and what we experience specifically, then we are not getting represented within the pages of these books, and the tips and advice are just not created for us. So that is something really important to keep in mind for you as you're reading books like these, especially related to mental health. So the title of this reads, Break the Cycle of Anxious Rumination to Nurture Love, Trust, and Connection with Your Partner. And I also just want to make it clear and make a disclaimer that reading books does not replace going to therapy, and it can't. Therapy is a relationship between a therapist and a client, so it's not something that can replace it. But I recognize, as someone who grew up low income and didn't have access to certain resources, how important and more accessible it can be to read a book like this, or like the ones that I'm going to share with you, before going to therapy and just dipping your toes into some foundational knowledge. All of these books I genuinely love, and I hope you guys enjoy them too. The last bit of books are all in Spanish that I'm going to be sharing, and I'm really excited to share them with you all. If you're a Spanish speaker or you have a family member who is. First book is Abraza a la niña que fuiste, and this says Sana las heridas del pasado y reconéctate con tu interior. This book is just so comprehensive, and so this one specifically is really knowledge based. Like, yes, you're getting examples and tips, but it's really much more informational based. So these are the rest of the books, everyone. They are so good. I love them, and I hope you enjoy reading these. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that helped motivate you a little bit and help remind you that you are enough. I'm always rooting for each and every one of you. Stay nice and cozy, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye everyone.